we can always do better. That's where I was started. In the first instance, for one-way roads, most of the roads that are one-way roads have signages as of now. For the restriction on Okada, we are now mounting those signs on additional roads. The roads that we, as at 2010, prescribed, all those ones have signages of no commercial motorcycles. But for the new roads that have been added by the general by Lagosians, we are now at the point of we are currently installing those signages on the roads where you cannot turn right, you cannot turn left. You will agree with me that most roads now have those signages, but we are improving on those. We are now increasing the number so that it becomes much more visible from any point, from any angle. And
what about U-turns?
Wherever you see a sign that says no U-turn, we don't want U-turn. Where you see,
but some places don't have.
That's what I want to say.
Restricted.
No. Where you see no, where there is no sign, you are allowed. But where there is an enforcement officer and he's saying it's not allowed, then it's not allowed. That's part of the provisions of the law. But you cannot be restricted when there is nobody there and there is no sign. And if you are apprehended, you see, the beauty of this law is that when you are apprehended, you have opportunity to say I disagree.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that when you are apprehended, you are as guilty as charged.
Okay. Now, Danfo drivers in Lagos, they present a special hazard. Now, how are you dealing with them?
Okay.
This law.
Number one, we mentioned the driver institute. Now, it requires that by law, you cannot drive a Danfo, even though you have a driver license and you don't have that certification. So we are starting a process of re-registering all Danfo drivers. Now, it's part of the white paper that was approved alongside this law. So what it requires is that we'll soon be making announcements. All the Danfo drivers will show up for documentation. If everybody who have chosen to be a driver. Now, during that documentation, if he doesn't have a driver institute certification, he will be required to go for that certification. At that institute, he will be taken through a retraining process that talks about ethics, behavior, and the do's and don'ts of a public vehicle driver. So what the intention is to reorientate, like I said, create a new thing, a new set of professionals, reorientate them and reposition them for the job they are doing. So also the same thing will happen to the conductors. Then we are also in the process of properly documenting or reposition how you engage into this so-called, let me use the word, Danfo driving operation business.
Okay. I see that tailgating is also all those special vehicles is also an offense, not a crime, an offense. How is that going to be enforced?
Well, in the same way as other offenses are.
Where is it now?
Enforced. You know, the starting point with these offenses and rules is that they give us the accepted standard of behavior. You and I, by your saying it, we know that it is wrong to do it. And that goes some way. It may not go all the way, but it's good to know that this thing is wrong. Now, of course, when you do it, we all again know that you are constituting a danger to other road users, even to yourself, to your vehicle. We know basically that it is wrong. Now, but nevertheless, we will have deviant behavior. We'll have people who will know that it is wrong and still attempt to do it. In such a case, of course, there will usually those emergency vehicles have policemen around with them. So, if the person is arrested, then the fine will be applied. So that's why I said it's the same way other offenses will be enforced. Okay.
Sorry, back to Danfo drivers. I see that they must shut the doors of their Danfos, and the conductors are not allowed to ride on the tailgates.
Yeah.
Danfo is like the doors remain open. I mean, some of them don't even have doors.
We need to change.
So that's why we say we are calling all of them back. We are calling all of them back to register. You see, if a Danfo driver has that driver institute certification, he will have seen videos of accidents and possible consequences of keeping. So that's why the Driver Institute is key. Like I said, we didn't just come overnight about changing the law. We have we have worked so long on what needed to be put in place. So we are putting the Driver Institute in place. We have created a platform that is has a lot of integrity. That is our auto-reg platform in documenting motor vehicle administration. Our vehicle inspection system we now included is one of the sections that was not in the other law that is now in this one. We have repositioned it. The testing centers are now better equipped. They are ready for this operation. The VIO men have been retrained. Last month have been repositioned, retrained. So we have done so much so that once we start this process of re-registration and re-certification, you will be seeing a better set of Danfo drivers now properly educated and now made to understand that they have chosen this as a profession, and that profession is a profession that deserves to be respected by members, but they themselves must show respect to people they pick. And in addition, you see, they will be having badges, they will be carrying an identity inside the vehicle. So you see, it's just to reorientate the mentality that it's just an agbe routine. No, it is a business, and you must do it. And that's why we say service delivery. And
related to, what you read out, I think the average conductor would like to sit down in the vehicle. I mean, he stands, on the tailboard because it is the culture. It is what is done. Like as you said, doors are never closed. But the consequence of that is that these Danfos tend to now stop on the highway to pick passengers indiscriminately, and that contributes to the traffic jams that we have. So if we have a new orientation, get to the bus stop, pick your passengers, sit down, close the door, and move up onto the next bus stop. Life will be so much easier for everybody.
Indeed. Samson Davies on Twitter is just asking a question here. He says we should ask the AGS validity of Lagos State driver's license and vehicle license as against that of FRSC. Is there a need to balance it in any way? Is there FRSC issues one and Lagos State government issues another?
No. The fact is, FRSC cannot do more than prescribe a format just for nationwide uniformity. The states always had the right to do the testing, the certification for drivers. It's always been the authority of the states. And FRSC, we've been in discussion with FRSC. There's no problem with that. We have a format that we've accepted to use, and states have the legislative authority and the constitutional authority to issue driver's license.
Okay.
Let me just add here, the driver license we're talking of is still the same one in Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo, and Abuja. What the FRSC only does is to print it. The states, all the 36 states, are the one responsible for the processing. FRSC only prints that, so it's still one driver license. The Driver Institute certification is an additional requirement in addition to your driver license, which is a national driver license. If you want to be the driver to channels, or the driver to Lagos State government, or the driver to Kayode Okpaifa, or a Danfo driver, you must in Lagos have an additional certification that certifies you as a public transport, goods and passenger, or passenger only
from the Drivers Institute.
From the Driver Institute in Lagos.
Well, then Promise on Twitter as well is just asking that how long will the training last, and where are these training centers?